And in Madison, there will be a temporary closure of a walking route that's along Broom Street where that railroad crossing is, and that is beginning on Tuesday. So the closure is expected to last about 10 days. A detour will be provided for pedestrians through West Wilson Street, South Bassett Street, and then that newly constructed path that's on North Shore Drive. So access to the dog park that's across John Nolan Drive, that will remain open during this time, and Broom Street, that will continue to be closed to drivers as well until the 29th. So this is all part of that John Nolan Drive reconstruction project that is ongoing.